Welcome, learners! School is starting again soon, and many of you will have spent it just the same way as me, drunk and procrastinating. As I've gone through childhood to adolescence to early adulthood, nothing has been more prominent than the ever-increasing presence of feeling totally wrecked on a random Tuesday. Telling myself only 12 hours earlier that I would never drink again. So the question I will answer today is divided into 3 parts. What is alcohol? Why does alcohol give you hangovers? And 3, what can you do to cure them? Alcohol is a chemical group that divides into many of our favorite substances. Alcohol includes ethanol, our favorite way to spend our weekends and money, and methanol, our favorite way to end our weekends and lives. Methanol can, in as little as 10 milliliters, or 0.34 fluid ounces, lead to permanent blindness through the destruction of the optic nerve, and not the badass Stevie Wonder type of blind, but rather the crippling nervous system close encounter with a painful death from moonshine type of blind. The worst part is most cases of methanol poisoning are not the result of moonshine or other home-brewed alcohol substitutes. Rather, it is from the drinking of windshield washer fluid. Wikipedia describes methanol poisoning symptoms like this. Symptoms may include a decreased level of consciousness, poor coordination, vomiting, abdominal pain, and a specific smell on the breath. Which sounds like normal alcohol consumption to me, but what do I know? Alcohol was probably first consumed by humans when there were primates eating fermented fruits. This actually isn't so uncommon in the animal kingdom, as between 2005 and 2007, some 90 birds crashed and died in windows and other objects because of drunk flying after feasting on fermented berries. Just out there cracking some berries with the boys, and then suddenly 90 casualties from drunk flying. Just goes to show you that it's not only humans who drink themselves into accidental self-destruction by travel. Alcohol is made by fermenting grains, fruits, and berries. The bacteria and our yeast then react with the sugars. The byproducts of this fermentation are mostly ethanol and carbon dioxide. The first archaeological proof of intentional fermentation to produce alcohol is found near modern-day Israel in an ancient burial site that is about 13,000 years old. It would not be crazy to think that we've been drinking for even longer than this, though. After all, almost every culture made alcoholic drinks in all kinds of different ways. The Romans preferred wine, and thought so highly of it that they had their own god of wine, who was also the god of theater and agriculture. It was made available for everyone, including peasants, slaves, soldiers, and even, God forbid, women. Later in medieval times, a Persian scientist named Razi created what we today call rubbing alcohol for medicinal purposes. As you may have always wondered, and hopefully never tried, is whether or not you can drink rubbing alcohol, such as antibacterial gel. The answer is no, as they make something called denatured alcohol by adding bitterants, which at best ruin the flavor but often make you nauseated and sick. This, as you can imagine, is not only out of the concern for public health and children, but also to avoid alcohol taxes, as many tax systems charge alcohol as a type of beverage. This means you can avoid the tax by making your product undrinkable. I assume that is the only reason Bud Light is still a thing. So how does alcohol work? Alcohol reacts to some of the neurons by blocking electrical signals in the brain and reducing and increasing different receptors and hormones, which slur your speech, block memory, and interferes with your coordination. It also gives you a squirt of dopamine and serotonin, which make you feel good and motivated to drink more. The reasons you get hangovers as a result of drinking liquid regret are numerous. One of the reasons is as simple as the fact that alcohol makes you very dehydrated very quickly. This is why you wake up and swallow water directly from the tap like a blue whale, after that one friend brings over 18 beers and a vodka bottle because he wanted to celebrate his aunt's graduation from kindergarten or something. Another reason is just pure and simple sleep deprivation. As you may wake up due to bathroom trips, it disrupts REM sleep and interrupts other bodily rhythms. Metabolic and immune changes are also to blame, as well as acetaldehyde accumulation, which is a natural chemical present in both nature and in industry, and it is well-known toxic, which results from your liver processing alcohol. Exactly why we get hangovers is not as well understood by scientists, but these are some of the main reasons. Unfortunately for all the college students and musicians listening, there are no proven cures for hangovers, but there are some things that work better than others to alleviate your suffering. First, eat your breakfast. And no, I'm not talking an 18-pack of chicken nuggets and a gallon of cola and caffeine. You should actually eat something that contributes to stabilizing your blood sugar levels, refill potentially depleted vitamins and minerals, and provide the nutrients necessary to process the remaining alcohol. Don't skip the salad and other healthy stuff. They will make you feel better. Second is quite obvious, and I probably don't need to tell you this, but sleep is also important. Things like headaches, irritability, and fatigue, which we associate with hangovers, can get worse because even though going to sleep tipsy makes you fall asleep more easily, it can interrupt your sleep cycles and thereby lower your quality of sleep. Same goes for water here, obviously. Methanol, as we talked a little bit about earlier, is also processed by your body and the liver when you drink alcohol. The methanol is converted into something called formaldehyde, and this toxin might provide some of the symptoms of hangovers. To remedy this, you can drink more ethanol alcohol, as this helps to process the methanol without it turning into toxins. This isn't a joke, by the way. They treat people with methanol poisoning by giving them normal ethanol alcohol. Of course, it isn't recommended to start a continuous eternal death cycle of drinking every day to cure the day before, to cure the day before, and so on. But if it's really bad and you have a day off, you can grab a few to make you feel better. Here is a list of other remedies that have some effect: ginseng, prickly pear, ginger, borage oil, eleuthero, and Sprite. Many people use coffee or energy drinks to cure a hangover. This could actually make things worse, however, as caffeine can make your blood vessels thinner and worsen headaches. But what if I am addicted to coffee and not drinking it gives me a headache, I hear you ask? Well, then you can choose between a withdrawal headache or a hangover headache. No, but in all honesty, you should drink some water, have a little coffee, wait an hour, and then drink more water and then coffee if you feel better. Another thing to keep in mind when you want to avoid the devil's day after is to avoid brown liquor and red wine in large quantities. It contains a larger amount of congeners, like methanol, and will screw up your day harder than clear liquor, like vodka will. That's all I have for today. Hopefully some of this info will keep you from dying of methanol poisoning and helping you reach that meeting on time. Stay smart, stay learning.